Time now to talk about that big game in New Orleans with Pick 6, brought to you by BetMGM. Place your money line, prop parlay, and same-game parlay bets at BetMGM. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly. Again, these lines, as always, subject to change. So, Coach, here we go. Eagles taking on the Chiefs. We're going to look to get involved in the action courtesy some of these numbers, some of these prop bets from BetMGM. And one of the things folks love to bet on, even if you're back home, like making those squares like on the boards and everybody's putting in a couple bucks, is the coin toss. Heads.
The coin toss.
We're talking about the coin.
All right.
We're not talking playoffs. We're talking coin toss. Heads and tails, both at minus 102. I'm curious, when you were a head coach, did you ever have like superstitions where you told your captains, hey, dude, it's got to be heads every single time, or we're making way, way too much of this?
I had a lot of superstitions, and people would make fun of me because I'd always reach graphs, and because I was in charge of kicking game, and I would see which way the wind blows.
Yep. And
they'd even laugh. We're playing in Indianapolis, and I'd do it. And I'd always do the same thing, and people would say, Coach, you're inside. What are you doing? There's no wind. And I'd look at them like...
They could have the heaters or the air conditioning on a little high, right?
They knew I was doing it
because I'm something.
Very superstitious. But no, I never... When I was a captain in high school, I called heads all. I was a heads guy, but not...
You're a heads guy.
I didn't mess with that. I let the players... That was their time, and...
But
I didn't. I didn't know people bet on that. That's great.
Oh, for sure, Coach. They'll find everything to bet on, man. BetMGM's got loads and loads of stuff. But I do imagine, though, that you said, hey, whether this was across the board or certain games, we want the ball first. If you win, we want this or we want that, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, every game I ever coached, it was you're going to defer. The only times you didn't was weather or you're playing an inferior opponent. If you're playing weather, and I would have a weather report if you saw something bad rolling in that second half, give me the ball. We're going to go try to score. If you're playing an inferior opponent, you always want to take the ball first because you just want to, you want to go score and get your players, because in halftime, a lot of times they don't play. I'm talking about real inferior.
Yeah.
And that was the only two times. Other than that, analytics and just the idea of playing defense first, field position, especially if you got a good defense. So that's what we'd always do.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on from heads and tails. Let's talk about like a genuine MVP candidate and Saquon Barkley. Man, what he's been able to do, averaging 168 yards per game in the playoffs. BetMGM is setting his over-under rushing at 126.5. They always throw that little 0.5 in there to really kind of screw with you. So 126.5 at minus 115.
Wow.
So do you think, I went on, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when the Eagles were in the NFC Championship game, and you guys all went with the Commanders. You felt like the good vibes of Washington were continuing. I said, Saquon's going to run, baby. He's going to run all over. And he was the difference. So 126.5, if Philly is going to win this Super Bowl, they are going to win it because of Saquon Barkley. Kansas City knows it. They know they've got to take him away. So I say he goes under. He's so talented, but I think so much of the Kansas City defensive focus is going to be on stopping Mr. Barkley. So I say he goes under 126.5. What about you?
I'm saying under for two reasons. Spagnuolo, the defense coordinator of the Chiefs, and then their D-line coach, Joe Cullen. Joe Cullen was with me and as a coach, as actually my coordinator. He's tremendous. You can stop the run. I mean, this guy's a superhuman. I think they're gonna really dare them to throw the ball a lot and really stop this cat. I think I got it under. I think he's one of my favorite players. I coached against him for 3 years, and every time we tackled him, you're just like, whew, thank you.
Dodge that bullet, right?
Got him.
Yeah.
And we played him well. He had that opening kickoff against us.
Yes, he did.
And I almost fired a kickoff covering coach, but that was myself. And I was the idiot that kicked the ball to him. But other than
what
that,
are you thinking, man? I mean, that's not a decision a 5 makes. That's a 2 decision, buddy. That's a 2 decision. All right, let's get to the actual game. The Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points. 2 years ago, remember, this is a rematch, right? 2 years ago, they beat the Eagles 38-25. Coach, in that game 2 years ago, 115.1 million viewers for the Super Bowl. That was a then Super Bowl record. It was broken last year, right? The overtime win for the Chiefs over San Fran, 123.7 million viewers, and that number could go up this Sunday. And for those of us who are employed by Fox, let's hope it goes up. That's only good things for us. So Chiefs favored by 1.5. Patrick Mahomes going for his 4th Super Bowl win. All of this before he turns 30 years old.
Gosh.
Andy Reid looking for his 4th Super Bowl as well. We're going to talk about the Andy Reid factor in a moment. But number one, Chiefs favored by 1.5. Do they cover? And who do you like?
I mean, I stare at, is Vegas amazing that when you have to double take it, even the 126 when they, where he's averaging 126.5 yards, 0.5, and it's the over-unders at 115. That makes you think,
they know what they're
that's
doing.
right on that number. 1.5, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think the quarterback, Mahomes, Andy Reid, I know the coaches. I know that defense coordinator, and I actually talked to Joe Cullen yesterday, and I can tell in his voice that there's some they're going to get that 3rd win, which just takes your breath away.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs take it as well, and they cover as well. And I think it's probably going to be by close to double digits. How about that? Let's talk about. I know.